Have you ever wondered what wonders captivated ancient civilizations? From the imposing Pyramid of Giza, to the majestic temple of the mystical goddess Artemis. From the great Lighthouse of Alexandria, to the extraordinary statue of the mighty god Zeus. Prepare to marvel at the greatness and ingenuity of our ancestors. Number 7. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon were one of the most enigmatic and fascinating wonders of ancient times. Its construction dates back to the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar II, around the 6th century BC, in the legendary city of Babylon, located in the region of Mesopotamia, in what is now Iraq. The history of these gardens is shrouded in romance and mystery. Nebuchadnezzar II is said to have built the gardens for his wife, Amitiz, who longed for the lush landscapes of her homeland, Media, known for its lush vegetation and forest-covered mountains. Wanting to please his wife and create an oasis of beauty in the middle of the arid Mesopotamian landscape, the king ordered the construction of these impressive gardens. What made these gardens so extraordinary was their unique design and ingenious construction. They consisted of a series of stepped terraces, one above the other, which were supported by thick brick columns and covered with fertile soil. A variety of trees, plants and flowers were planted on each of these terraces, creating a stunning visual spectacle and an intoxicating aroma that filled the air. The water fountain to water the gardens was another notable aspect of its construction. An elaborate system of water wheels and canals is said to have been used to lift water from the Euphrates River to the upper terraces, where it was then distributed through irrigation canals. Unfortunately, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon suffered the fate of many ancient wonders and was destroyed, probably by earthquakes, around the 1st century BC. Despite their physical disappearance, these gardens remain an enduring symbol of the creativity and splendor of the ancient Mesopotamian civilization. Number 6. The statue of Zeus at Olympia was a masterpiece of classical Greek sculpture found in the Temple of Zeus in the ancient city of Olympia, Greece. It was commissioned by the inhabitants of the city and built by the sculptor Phidias, around 430 BC. The statue represented Zeus, the supreme god of Greek mythology, sitting on a majestic throne, carved from ivory and gold. The statue of Zeus amazed the ancient world due to its impressive size, meticulous detail and artistic value. The statue is said to have been approximately 49 feet tall and decorated with ivory, gold and precious stones. The depiction of Zeus seated on his throne was a manifestation of the majesty and power of the god, and was considered one of the most impressive works of classical Greek sculpture. The statue of Zeus was revered as one of the main attractions of Olympia and attracted visitors from all over the Greek world. However, in 426 AD, the Temple of Zeus was destroyed by fire and the statue of Zeus was lost in the process. Although efforts were made to rebuild the temple, the statue was never replaced and was lost forever. Despite its physical disappearance, the statue of Zeus at Olympia continues to be remembered as one of the great works of art of antiquity, a symbol of the ingenuity and creativity of Greek artists and the importance of religion and mythology in the Greek culture. Number 5. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus was a magnificent temple dedicated to the Greek goddess Artemis, built in the city of Ephesus, in modern-day Turkey. It is believed to have been built around the 6th century BC and was rebuilt several times over the centuries, reaching its best-known form during the Hellenistic era. The temple was designed by the architect Chersiphron and his son Metagenes, and took approximately 120 years to build. It was one of the largest structures of antiquity, measuring approximately 460 feet long by 230 feet wide, and was adorned with elaborate sculptures and reliefs. The Temple of Artemis was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world due to its impressive size, architectural beauty, and religious and cultural importance. Artemis was a goddess revered throughout Greece, associated with hunting, nature, and fertility, and her temple at Ephesus was one of the most important cult centers dedicated to her. Unfortunately, the Temple of Artemis suffered several mishaps throughout its history. It was deliberately burned down by an individual named Herostratus in 356 BC, who sought to gain fame through its destruction. Despite this fire, the temple was rebuilt and continued to be an important place of worship for several more centuries. Finally, the temple was completely destroyed by Gothic invaders in 268 AD. After its destruction, the temple was not rebuilt and much of its structure was looted and used as construction material for other buildings in the region. Despite its physical disappearance, the Temple of Artemis continues to be remembered as one of the great architectural and religious wonders of antiquity. Number 4. The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, also known as the Mausoleum of Mausolus, was an architectural masterpiece that was erected in the ancient city of Halicarnassus, on the southwestern coast of Asia Minor, in present-day Bodrum, Turkey. This impressive funerary monument was commissioned by Artemisia II of Korea, the wife and sister of Mausolus, the satrap of Korea, after his death in 353 BC. The construction of the mausoleum was supervised by Greek architects Satyros and Pythias, who designed a monumental structure that combined elements of Greek architecture, such as Ionic columns, with Middle Eastern influences, such as Mesopotamian ziggurats. The structure was surrounded by an Ionic colonnade and culminated in a stepped pyramid, crowned by a marble chariot representing Mausolus and Artemisia. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world due to its impressive size and elaborate sculptural decoration. The mausoleum was adorned with reliefs and statues depicting mythological scenes, battles and historical figures, all made by some of the most notable sculptors of the time, such as Scopas, Leocares, Bryaxis and Timothy. After the death of Artemisia II, the mausoleum was looted and damaged by several earthquakes, but much of the structure remained standing until the 15th century, when it was destroyed by the Knights of the Order of St. John of Malta, who used their stones to fortify Peter's Castle in Bodrum. Despite its physical disappearance, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus continues to be remembered as one of the great wonders of antiquity, a testament to the artistic skill and architectural grandeur of the ancient Greek civilization. Number 3. The Colossus of Rhodes was a giant bronze statue representing the Greek sun god, Helios. It was erected in the city of Rhodes, on the island of Rhodes, in 280 BC, to commemorate the city's victory over King Demetrius I of Macedonia. The statue was commissioned by the inhabitants of Rhodes and was designed by the sculptor Cares de Lindos. The construction of the Colossus of Rhodes took approximately 12 years and is said to have been an impressive feat of engineering at the time. The statue was approximately 130 feet high and was located at the entrance to the port of Rhodes, so that ships could pass under it. It is believed that the structure was made up of a bronze and iron frame, covered with bronze plates representing the figure of Helios. The Colossus of Rhodes was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world due to its impressive size, innovative design, and historical and cultural importance. Helios was a deity revered throughout Greece as the sun god, and the statue became a symbol of the independence and strength of the city of Rhodes. Unfortunately, the Colossus of Rhodes suffered significant damage in an earthquake in 226 BC, approximately 54 years after its construction. The statue collapsed and was left in ruins, and although the inhabitants of Rhodes considered rebuilding it, they ultimately decided to leave it in its fallen state as a monument to their history and their resistance. Despite its physical disappearance, the Colossus of Rhodes continues to be remembered as one of the great wonders of antiquity, a symbol of the greatness and technical skill of ancient Greek sculptors and builders. Number 2. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, also known as the Lighthouse of Pharos, was one of the most spectacular structures of the ancient world. Its construction is attributed to the architect and engineer Sostratus of Cnidus, and was completed around the year 280 BC. He was commissioned by Ptolemy Philadelphus II, king of Egypt, to guide sailors and merchants through the dangerous waters of the port of Alexandria. The lighthouse was located on the island of Pharos, opposite the city of Alexandria, in Egypt. It was approximately 390 feet high and was built mainly of limestone blocks. Its design included a square base, an octagonal body, and a lantern on top that emitted light to guide ships. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was considered a marvel due to its impressive height and advanced lighting system, which included a concave mirror to reflect light from a bonfire lit on top. It became a symbol of the grandeur and sophistication of the city of Alexandria, which was then an important cultural and commercial center of the ancient world. Unfortunately, the Lighthouse of Alexandria was destroyed by a series of earthquakes over the centuries. The most devastating of these earthquakes occurred in the 14th century, when much of the structure collapsed and fell into the sea. Parts of the old construction were later used in the construction of the Cape Bay Citadel, a fort that stands on the site where the lighthouse once stood. Although nothing remains visible of the original structure, the Lighthouse of Alexandria is still remembered as one of the most impressive architectural wonders of antiquity. Number 1. The Great Pyramid of Giza is an architectural marvel that has captivated humanity for millennia. It was built during the 4th dynasty of ancient Egypt, around 2580 to 2560 BC, as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, also known as Khufu in Greek. The construction of the Great Pyramid was a monumental achievement of ancient engineering. It is estimated that between 20,000 and 30,000 workers were needed to build it, and the pyramid is believed to have been completed over a period of approximately 20 years. Limestone and granite blocks, some weighing several tons, were used to build the structure. The blocks are believed to have been transported on sleds pulled by workers and animals. The Great Pyramid was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world due to its impressive size, geometric precision, and architectural complexity. The pyramid originally had a height of approximately 480 meters, although it now measures around 450 feet, due to the loss of the limestone casing layer that covered its walls. The precision with which the Great Pyramid was built is astonishing. The faces of the pyramid are oriented perfectly toward the cardinal points, and the base of the pyramid is almost perfectly square, with only a slight variation of less than 0.05% on its sides. Over the centuries, the Great Pyramid of Giza has been the subject of great fascination and study. Numerous archaeological and scientific investigations have been carried out to discover more about its construction and meaning. Although it has suffered looting and damage over time, the Great Pyramid still stands and remains an impressive testament to the skill and engineering of the ancient Egyptian civilization. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel, so we can bring you more of history's finest tops from around the world.